Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be drifting the new Vigero ZX, the new Camaro in GTA Online. The four of these behind me are all set up with different tunes. Some are HSW, some have low grip tires, some don't, and we are going to find out which one is the best. We have got Bumblebee, which is a standard non-HSW car with the standard tires, no spoiler, so it'll swing around a bit better. Then we've got another standard Vigero, non-HSW. This one has the low grip tires with the spoiler to give it a little bit more traction because those low grip tires are a handful, so slippery. Then we've got the HSWs, the big boys. This one has regular tires and no spoiler, so it can swing around a bit better with those standard tires. And last but not least, we've got this menace, the shark teeth over here. This one has low grip tires and a spoiler to hopefully hold that thing to the ground, to the pavement. So I've done all the tuning on these four cars, all of the testing, so you guys don't have to. Let's jump in and get to drifting, shall we? Starting things off, we're in the regular Vigero ZX, and we've got the normal tires on with no spoiler to help try and get that rear end to swing out around these corners. And you'll notice that coming up on this part, the car bogged down a bit. It's really not that reliable to transition in and out of drifts with the speed boost. Doesn't activate as much as I would like it to, as well as the angle of the car. It's not really that good of an angle, which is really holding it back from being one of the better drift cars. So what that means is you really have to push it to the limit. You'll see it bogs down again. I was trying to link those two drifts together, and you really have to push it to the limit for it to drift. So can it drift? Yes. Is it the best drift car out of all of the drift cars out there? No, it's not. Even trying to go into that from a high-speed drift to a low-speed drift was difficult for the car to gear down into. So as I touched on, the angle for drifting is very weak. It's not able to whip the rear out. It's more of a power sliding. The balance of the car is good, so what that means is it's not going to spin out on you. It's very easy to control. The drift speed is on the slower side of things, and to transition between drifting left and right, you really have to work for it and push the car hard. Speed boost power, 5 out of 10, average. Reliability for the speed boost is difficult to link, and maintaining the drift state is difficult as well. Overall, I give this car a D tier for drifting. And would you look at this? We put on some low grip tires on the standard Vigero, the non-HSW, and all of a sudden we're able to proximity drift in and out around pedestrians, buttery smooth, but you'll notice that angle there on that exit is very extreme. So it's very difficult to control this car. It's very easy to spin out and lose control, especially while you're transitioning left to right. It is on the slower side of drifting, so even though it's able to stay in its drift state easier, it is, number one, very hard to control, and it is very slow because of all of that loss of traction. It is, however, a fun car to drift. It's leagues ahead of the standard Vigero with the normal tires. And once you get the hang of it, it is a good car to practice on if you're new to drifting, or if you're experienced with drifting. It'll definitely sharpen your skills as well with those low grip tires. Again, the angle for drifting is very extreme. That's going to be the biggest problem with the car, as it's going to fly out of control very easily. The balance is very, very slippery. Again, with trying to keep it where you want it to go. Trying to go through traffic is not always the easiest. The drift speed is very slow because of all of that loss of traction. Transitioning, very easy to spin out. The speed boost power is average. Why it's not great is because of all of that lack of traction. Speed boost reliability is good. Maintaining drift state is easy. And overall, I give this car a B for the drift tier. And would you look at this? We've got the low grip tires on. This is the HSW upgrade, and what a world of a difference. We are in a sideways wonderland now as we effortlessly make a short time of these longer straightaways. The only problem is if you thought that the low grip tires were hard to control on the standard car, it is way more difficult on the HSW. This thing is a beast. The power is through the roof, and you've really got to hold on to your seat. This will keep you on the edge at all times, so you got to respect it and anticipate every single turn. Let's try and get a proximity drift here by the fire station, and pretty smooth considering it's got all that power. Very close to being a S-tier car, this one. It's kind of on the fence for me. For some people, they will prefer it over me. A lot of this comes down to preference, so this is my own opinions on what's more fun, reliable for me, something that I would pull out more often. And some of you guys might prefer this one as the top car in the game because that drift angle is really, really good. It's just really, really hard to control. If you guys have drifted the Banshee 900R, you know how difficult that is. This is a lot more difficult. So, again, very high skill level, a lot of patience to master this car. Angle of the car is going to be extreme, very easy to oversteer and snap out of control. Balance, extremely slippery, very hard to maintain drifts without going off the road. Takes a lot of patience and a lot of practice. Drift speed is going to be fast, not the fastest due to the lower traction on those low grip tires, but it is definitely on the faster side of drifting. Transitioning, it's very easy to lose control between drifting left and right. Speed boost power is good, not great because of those low grip tires. And the reliability of the speed boost is very good. Maintaining drift state is very easy. So overall, for me, personally, I give this car an A for drift tier. All right, and last up, we've got the HSW with standard tires and no spoiler. This one's going to be a bit controversial, up for debate. This is for my preference, but for me, I have not had a smile on my face this big while drifting this car in a long time. The only problem, as you saw trying to exit that proximity drift, is the angle, which is pretty much non-existent. So what you have to do is really give it some throttle into these turns to force it sideways. So angle alone is not going to do it. You've got to rely on brute force. However, with the speed boost on the standard tires, this thing is an absolute rocket. This is the fastest drift car in the game, which you guys will see and you will notice on drifts like that and a few others coming up. But for me, this is my favorite of the four. And it is very unique because, again, the Banshee 900R is a better drift car. The Banshee 900R is in its own class. It's an S+++. Really wish Rockstar would make a car similar to that with the handling mechanics of how when you stance that. But other than that car, man, this car is an absolute blast. And I think everybody should own one and take it out for a spin. Look at that, just missiling through those traffic, through those cars. So for the drift angle, it is very weak, almost non-existent, which is very unfortunate. If it had more of an angle, it would be an S++ car for me, right up with the Banshee 900R. The balance of the car is very snappy and very stiff, so going in and out of drifts left and right, you really have to push for it. The drift speed, this thing is a drift missile. It is the fastest drift car in the game, which is so much fun. Transitioning, again, you have to work for it, push it into it. Speed boost power is tremendous. It is very scary at some times. The speed boost reliability is very good. Maintaining drift state, once again, you have to work for it. And overall, it is drifts like this coming up, which is my reasoning for putting this in an S tier for drifting. Look at this drift. What other cars have you seen do a monstrous turnaround drift like that? The answer is none. And again, this car is such an adrenaline rush in this game. The new HSW upgrades really, really add to the thrill of drifting around Los Santos. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know if you've been drifting the new Vigero ZX, the new Camaro, and if so, what build are you using? Are you using HSW, standard, what kind of tires, what kind of spoiler? Let me know if you agree or disagree with my choices in the video, as I'm always curious to know your guys' thoughts. And until the next time, you guys keep on playing GTA, enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.